Wolf marks! He's a werewolf!
Was he worried about going berserk, so locked himself here?
Forget about that. The eclipse is starting. Let's cut out his heart while he's alive and give it to Lord...
Farewell, Alpha. Your era is over.
Werewolf turf wars are normal. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. Why won't it come off? Let go.
What's going on? This human can suppress the blood moon curse? No! 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 Interesting. She's my fated mate.
Creep, stay away from me!
Did you hear? Someone tried to assassinate the Lycan King Kale last night.
Oh my god. No wonder they've been checking everyone coming back from the Forbidden Forest, especially apothecaries, hunters. Got a suspicious look? Boom! Off to the Night Watch Tower. You! Stop right there! Back from the Forbidden Forest?
Just gathering herbs at the edge. I didn't go deep.
What's with the injury on your hand?
I fell and scraped it.
Now there's an Alfa scent on the wound. Lord Kale's soul scent! Take her away. To the Elder for interrogation.
I'm just a herbalist! Let me go!
Alpha was attacked last night, and you carry the injury and his soul smelt. Who sent you to get close to Kale? What's your next move?
I only went to the Forbidden Forest to pick lunar moss. Well, I did save an unconscious werewolf, but I didn't know who he was.
Luna Mark? How could this lowly human be Kale's mate? You're no ordinary human. Use the Silver Thorn whip. Don't stop until she fess up the mastermind.
Elder, this whip is laced with silver thorn poison. She's human. A few lashes will kill her.
She won't die that easily. Do it.
I'm telling the truth. I only saved that man because he was dying. I don't know any Kale. Stop!
Alpha, the patrol guards caught a human female apothecary who carries your unique scent. Elder Marcus has taken her to the interrogation room.
Interrogation room. Do it.
No!
It's him.
Alpha? Alpha, what brings you here?
So he's Kale.
I'm here to take her away.
Alpha, she's just a lowly human.
Human. I don't care if she's human. The only thing I know that she can suppress my curse. Let her go. Finally found you.
Alpha, you deployed the highest-ranking Blackthorn guards for a human girl?
With her frail frame, she dares to claim she's Luna. She doesn't know her place.
Quiet, all of you. During the eclipse, she suppressed my blood moon curse, and the lunar mark appeared on her.
Even if the lunar mark appeared, we must test her blood to ensure she didn't make this up while you were unconscious.
Then let us test her bloodline.
Let me.
What is this mark? It's never appeared before.
This is...
This is the legendary Moonblood healer mark. Her blood can not only suppress the Blood Moon curse, but even affect the Alpha core! Affect the Alpha core? No! She's a human woman! If she has ulterior motives, the entire Blackthorn land will forever her slaves! Exactly! If she's used by someone with bad intentions, it would be a disaster! Kill her!
Elder Marcus, is backstabbing a wolf clan tradition?
Marcus, I'm not dead yet. It's not up to the Elder Council to make decisions for me.
Alpha! We're doing this for your and the entire clan's safety!
She is my cure. To stand against her is to stand against me. Who dares? You'll help me keep the curse at bay, won't you?
There's nothing to gain from confronting him now.
Take her to the Lunar Room. The Blackthorn guards will keep full watch. No one is allowed to visit without my order.
They call it protection, but it's house arrest. If I stay any longer, I'll probably die here. No, I have to find a way out. How utterly pathetic. A lowly human like you actually thinks you can break through Blackthorn's barrier? You know what? This Lunar Room was supposed to be mine. If you like it so much, it's yours. I'm leaving right now.
Leave? Lyra, you're the Moonblood healer. Using your blood to break Kale's curse is your only value.
My value isn't for you to decide. I'm helping Kale because I want to save him. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't yield even with a knife to my throat. You lowly human. It seems Kale's attitude has made you forget the huge gap between our races. I'll teach you a lesson on his behalf.
Princess! Miss Lyra! It's an emergency! The King's Blood Moon curse has flared up!
From the moment I was born, I could see the souls of the dead. When I was caught talking to the void, my terrified parents thought me cursed. Instead, they poured all their love, wealth, and devotion into Seraphina, the orphan girl they took in, until she became the pampered jewel of House Thornwood. When Seraphina charmed her way into a betrothal with Lord Lucian Aurelius, the handsome heir of the most ancient ducal house in the realm, she became truly untouchable. But fate is a fickle thing. A fortnight before the grand wedding, Lord Lucian fell from his horse in the old forest and never woke. The court healers called it a cursed soul sleep. His body breathed, but his spirit was gone. When House Aurelius came to hold Seraphina to her sacred vow, she laughed in their faces.
Nurse a living corpse. I'd rather die. I will not marry a ruined man. Not for all his wealth.
Lucian's furious soul stood right there in the corner of the great hall, his eyes burning with hatred.
Whoever stays to care for me, I will give her a fortune, an estate, gold, freedom, anything just to spine this treacherous viper when I rise.
A fortune. My eyes lit up. I lifted my trembling hand.
Then, I'll marry him.
Every head in the hall turned. Seraphina's mouth fell open, and the dead lord's spirit stared at me as though I had risen from a grave of my own. I did not care for the title. I did not care for the castle. I wanted the gold. I braced for Seraphina to forbid it. All my life her chief delight had been to thwart me, then drink in my misery. But she only smirked and shoved me forward by the shoulder.
You are useless in this house anyway. Go wipe his filth, it suits you. Look at you, throwing yourself at a sleeping man. So starved for a husband you would take a broken one. How low.
I bowed my head and said nothing. Let her sneer. Every cruel word carried me one step closer to the door, and to a fortune that would set me free of all of them. But Lucian's soul did not stay silent.
You poison! For years you wept to me that your sister Alara tormented you. It was a lie. Every word of it. It was you who tormented her, and I, fool that I was, believed you.
His rage frosted the window panes. I tucked my chin and crept toward the Duchess instead.
I am the true-born daughter of this house. If it does not offend you, my lady, I will take my sister's place. I will wed Lord Lucian.
The Duchess Cassandra had worn grief like a veil since her son fell. House Aurelius had sworn to the court that he would soon recover. If the betrothal collapsed now, the whispers would spread, the alliances would crack, and the standing of the house would bleed away. I was, suddenly, the thread holding her dignity together.
You would truly do this. He cannot speak the vows yet. But care for him, keep faith as a wife should, and when he wakes, the seat of this house is yours.
I nodded, meek and eager.
I am gentle with the sick. I nursed my own grandparents to the end.
My parents eagerly chimed in, their smiles dripping with unctuous warmth.
Yes, exactly. The girl is a worthless thing anyway, born for nothing but menial service.
Sending her to care for the young lord is a perfect match. As her parents, we give our full consent. Please, take her off our hands immediately.
They spoke as if discarding a piece of rubbish, utterly desperate to shove me out the door. The soul stopped raging. He drifted close, circling me, his cold gaze raking me head to foot until my spine shivered. I pretended I could not see him, and smiled my most useful smile. Half an hour later I stood in the chamber of recovery, and met Lord Lucian Aurelius in the flesh. He was wasted thin, his fine features sharpened by illness, kept alive by tinctures the court healers dripped between his lips and the slow rise of his chest. Cassandra dabbed her eyes.
His skull was struck in the fall. The priest sealed the wound, but the soul sleep holds. 1/2 a year, perhaps 3. We wished to keep up appearances, yes, but also to give him a companion. Seraphina need never have touched a basin. We do not lack for court healers. But a sleeping soul must be called home.
A cursed sleeper, she explained, needs the warmth of constant company, a voice at his ear day upon day, to keep his mind alight and coax his spirit back. But the heir could not be seen in such a state by outside eyes, and she herself was consumed holding the house together. Seraphina had been the natural choice. Instead, the burden had fallen. Of all souls, to me, the spirit stood at the bedside, grey and bitter.
I thought she would never leave me. She has frozen my heart for good. All I want is one reliable soul to read me the parchment dispatches each morning. Is that so much? Gods know if this Alara is even capable.
I listened to him grumble and understood. Body and soul had been torn apart, that was why I could see him drifting. When he woke, his spirit would slip home, and he would see me no more. So I made my plan, and spoke it aloud to the Duchess.
Each morning I will read him the house dispatchings. I will fill the room with music and voices without pause. I will tell him the weather, bring him scents to wake his senses. And the washing, the turning, let me do that too, my lady, if it does not offend. It will help us grow familiar.
The Duchess and the ghost both took it for empty promises. Neither believed a death-touched girl could be so patient, so thorough, so kind. By the next morning, they would learn otherwise. When the Duchess came to the chamber of recovery the following day, she stopped in the doorway and stared. I had already shaved Lucian's hollow cheeks smooth, so that he looked less a hollow shell and more a sleeping lord. A traveling minstrel's tune drifted from the corner. On the table, a pot of spiced fruit steeped, its sweetness drowning the bitter reek of healing herbs. I sat at his bedside with a ledger open across my knees, reading the house accounts aloud in a clear, steady voice, pausing now and then to murmur an aside as if he might answer. And in the corner I had built myself a narrow cot, so I need never leave his side, day or night. Cassandra pressed a hand to her mouth.
Child, you may sleep in the castle proper. You need not stay here.
I only smiled. So long as I never had to sleep again under my parents' roof, I would gladly sleep on stone.
My lady, staying close strengthens the bond between us. It will help call him home.
When she had gone, I stole a glance at the ghost. The gray had eased from his face. He watched me with something almost like wonder.
Seraphina was raised soft. She would have made a wretched nurse. This Alora is steadier than I thought. Perhaps the curse did me a kindness.
I went on about my work, dusting the sill, trimming the guttering candles, humming an old cradle song under my breath because silence felt cruel to a sleeping man. The ghost trailed me corner to corner, no longer cold, only curious, as though he had never in his gilded life watched anyone labor on his behalf without being paid or commanded to it.
She does not even know I am watching, and still she is gentle.
I pretended not to hear, and pressed a coal cloth to his brow. After that, I told myself, the rest would be simple. I tucked the blanket to his chin and let myself believe, for one breath, that a fortune was already as good as mine: the gold, the estate, the freedom deed, every coin of it near enough to taste. I began to study the ghost the way a hunter studies tracks. He could not wander far distance from his body seemed to thin him, like ink in water. Mostly he kept to his chamber of recovery, drifting out only on the fairest mornings to taste the air. So when he muttered to himself, I listened.
How did she know I love the old operas? She has done her reading. Not bad. Now if only she would learn that I despise apples and crave the blue-veined cheese from the West Cellar. Every day, apples. I am sick to death of apples.
The next morning I went down to the cold cellar myself, and came back cradling a wheel of cheese so pungent it cleared my own eyes. I unwrapped it slowly at his bedside, smiling at his sleeping face.
My lord, shall we see how well this one has aged?
The reek bloomed through the room, foul and forbidden, the very thing no proper noble heir would admit to loving. The ghost's eyes lit like a starving man's.
Months. I must wake and devour a whole wheel with my own hands.
And as he spoke, the blessed water in the court healer's silver basin beside the bed, placed there to trace his life force, stirred with one faint, climbing ripple. I broke a piece of the cheese and ate it where he could see, sighing with pleasure.
Do you know, my lord, this is the first fine thing I have ever tasted. At home I was given the bruised apples, the rotten pears, never anything like this.
The ghost went very still. I had grown easy with his silent face. So I kept talking, the way one talks to a friend, and the words I had swallowed for 20 years came pouring out.
Your mother gave me a purse for my trouble, 200 gold. She thinks the work is hard. But at home I tended my parents, and Seraphina both, and my grandparents before that. Here there is only you. It is the lightest my life has ever been.
When I dared to look, the dead lord's eyes had gone red at the rims.
Are her parents mad? They have a true-born daughter worth 10 of that spoiled orphan, and they starve her to feed a viper. I will see that whole house answer for it!
I felt an unexpected warmth, and pushed it down. Vengeance could keep. So long as the gold reached my hands, I would thank every god there was. From that day, the ghost and I grew close in a way I cannot name. I went on pretending I could not see him, yet I gave him everything he wished before he wished it aloud. And he never left my side, watching all I did with those red-rimmed, thawing eyes. 4 months passed this way. Then, one ordinary afternoon, as I bent his thin fingers gently to keep them from stiffening, his hand twitched. On its own. The ghost stared at his own flesh, stunned.
My nerves. My body answered the touch. Did you feel that? The curse is unraveling. My dawn is coming. I am so close to waking.
I flew to fetch the Duchess, half laughing, half in tears. The good news could not be contained. Within days, learned court healers and priests came from across the realm to attend him. And so did Seraphina. She swept into the chamber of recovery, wrinkled her nose at the sleeping lord, and seized my arm hard enough to bruise.
They say he's waking. Is it true?
When I would not answer fast enough, her palm cracked across my cheek.
You think you climbed into House Aurorius? You think you can look down your nose at me?
Alara, you fool! Strike her back! I will stand behind you! Strike her!
When he wakes, you crawl back into the gut. I will tell him I tended him all along. He loves me. He will marry me, waking or not.
The ghost understood before I did.
So long as my mind keeps even a shred of this soul's memory, I will never wed her.
Then he faltered, and his voice dropped.
Never. But Will I keep it? When I wake, will the soul's memory and the body's memory truly join? Or will it all wash away and leave me believing lies? If I forget, if I rise and think Seraphina was the faithful one, gods, what then?
I rubbed my stinging cheek and felt my own dread answer his. Whether he married Seraphina or a stranger was nothing to me. But if she stole the credit for my 6 months of toil, my fortune would vanish with it. The ghost suddenly brightened.
My mother. She has seen Seraphina's true face. She will swear it was you who stayed. As long as she lives, Seraphina cannot rewrite this.
But Seraphina was not finished. She went straight to the Duchess and spun her web.
You know his heart, my lady. He chose me. When he wakes, will you truly force him to wed some stranger he does not know? He has cheated death. As his mother, you should support his happiness, not meddle in his marriage.
And to my horror, the Duchess wavered. She drew me aside, her face heavy with apology.
He will not know who tended him in truth. If I say it was Seraphina and they wed as everyone expects, it spares the house a scandal. I will compensate you richly. Only hold your tongue, and no one need ever know it was you.
The ghost raged in my ear.
Alara, have you no spine? Why hand your triumph to that snake?
I wanted to fight. I did. But I had been beaten down since I could walk. With no name, no power, no one at my back, what could I possibly fight with? The ghost looked at me.
Cowards! Every single one of you! My own mother trades my future for a piece of gossip. And you just bow your head. Alara, I will remember the truth on my own.
Having swayed the Duchess, Seraphina took no chances. She fed the news to the court herself, summoning scribes and gossiping nobles to the castle gate.
Under my devoted care, my beloved lord is waking at last. We shall seal our betrothal the moment he opens his eyes. Soon, I will be Lady Ararius. I thank you all for your blessings.
And the whole realm came to believe that Seraphina's deep, faithful love had worked the miracle. With every court healer's tending and the strength of Lucian's own will, his signs climbed. The color returned to his lips. His breath deepened. Before half a year had passed, the priests laid their hands upon his brow, traded grave looks, and declared his mind whole. He could wake at any hour. The closer that hour drew, the more manic Seraphina's smiles became. She believed she was about to successfully win everything, even though she hadn't cared for him for a single day.
Alara, I pray I remember all of this when I wake. Gods, keep me from forgetting your kindness. Gods, keep me from mistaking that snake for my savior.
I prayed for the same, but none of it was mine to command. Then came the morning I woke and the corner of the room was empty. No gray figure, no drifting voice, no cold. I understood at once. He was waking. I cried out for the Duchess and the court healers. Word raced through the castle, and Seraphina swept in with her scribes and witnesses on her heels. Beneath 100 breathless eyes, the priests murmured the waking rites over his still form. A long silence. Then Lord Lucian Aurelius, the sleeper of House Aurelius, slowly opened his eyes.
In Alpha, I cannot turn away my own blood.
Gasps rippled through the gathered pack. Before I could even part my lips, Ryek's grandmother stepped forward, her voice cutting through the silence.
You live a life of absolute privilege, Seraphina. Surely your royal pride can tolerate granting sanctuary to the woman who kept our Alpha alive. Know your place, little bird. The king's laws end where the Blackridge borders begin. You will allow her shelter today, or you can run back to your court with nothing but a hollow title.
Protect the bloodline, Luna!
I looked down at the child, then met Ryer's anxious gaze, and then I smiled. I slipped the moonstone Vond cuff off my wrist and let it clatter onto the seat, the very token Blackridge had sent to claim me before this farce of a ceremony. Alpha Ryer, if you want to bet astray, be my guest. I won't stop you. But this alliance was supposed to be a sacred mating ceremony, not a public circuit.
Do you really have to make a scene on our mating day, Seraphina?
There was no warmth of a fated mate in his eyes, only the lethal glare of a beast whose authority had been challenged. A scene. You let a low-blend rogue ambush my arrival and humiliate me at your gates, and now I'm the one ruining the day? Ryer's jaw flexed, the aggressive Alpha act instantly melting away into a mask of tortured guilt.
You know nothing about the hell of the borders, Seraphina. When the rogues has ambushed us, Alara threw herself in front of a blade meant for me. If it weren't for her, my blood would have stained the snow. She risked her life for me.
She was forced to live as a hunted outcast while carrying my pup. If I turn my back on her now, I don't deserve to be an alpha.
He spoke with a sickening wave of martyrdom. Around us, the pack's murmurs shifted. I could smell the sharp turn in the air, the metallic tang of hostility fading, replaced by a cloggy wave of sympathy drifting towards the trembling stray in the dirt. Sensing the crowd's shifting loyalty, Alara seized her moment. Perfect. Crystalline tears spilled down her pale cheeks.
Riker, please, don't fight with your Luna because of me. Please, Luna, I ask for nothing for myself. I will be a servant, an Omega, anything. Just, please let my pup be claimed by his father. Let him have a pack.
Look at her, Seraphina. How can you be so heartless? She is begging you on her knees. Have you no mercy for a mother trying to save her child?
I watched their pathetic little performance unfold, my chest hollow, not from the heartbreak of losing a fated mate, but from the sheer absurdity of his audacity. Tell me, Riker, did the border frostbite freeze your mind entirely, or have you always been this easily fooled? You allow a stray to weaponize her tears at my gates, defiling the sacred mating rites of the moon goddess. And you have the audacity to call me heartless? Riker's jaw tightened as the truth hit its mark, but his warriors weren't so easily shamed. These were hardened border wolves, loyal only to their alpha and entirely indifferent to the Lycan King's authority. A scarred beta stepped forward, his fangs elongating as his low growl vibrated against the wood of my carriage. A deafening chorus of howls erupted from the 100 armored wolves behind him.
Accept Alara! Let her stay!
They used their sheer numbers as a weapon, flooding the air with aggressive, dominant pheromones. A blunt, suffocating threat. This wasn't a plea for mercy. It was a mutiny. Standing at the head of his men, a smug glint flashed in Riker's eyes. His arrogant posture screamed his thoughts loud and clear. The pack has spoken. You are powerless here. Submit. I calmly withdrew my gaze and let the heavy velvet fall, shutting out the feral stench of their rebellion and the deafening noise. Turn us around. Now. My driver instantly cracked his whip, forcing the massive beasts pulling the carriage to wheel around. Before the carriage could move, a heavy iron staff slammed onto the cobblestones, striking mere inches from the lead beast's paws.
Let's see who dares to leave my territory today!
Flanked by 2 Omega maids, Vanina marched forward, planting herself like an immovable wall in front of my carriage. Her hair was a stark, brilliant silver, but her eyes burned with cold, vicious calculation. She wasn't some fragile elder. She was a legendary warlord who had bled in the border wars, alongside the late king himself. It was because of those battlefield scars that even the highest royals had once shown her deference.
Seraphina, if you walk away now, do you think your family can survive the humiliation?
She slammed her iron staff against the frozen ground. Her voice held no respect, only the suffocating arrogance of a matriarch demanding absolute submission.
Let us be clear, Seraphina. Ryok is the only reason the northern borders haven't collapsed. If you walk away over a petite grievance, you aren't just throwing a tantrum. You are declaring war on the Alliance.
She wove the political trap flawlessly, shifting the blame entirely onto my shoulders. If I order the carriage to move now, I would be branded a selfish traitor to my own people. With his grandmother leading the charge, Riot's confidence surged.
Listen to her, Seraphina. Don't let a petty bout of jealousy ruin your future. Our mating is already ordained. If you run back to your court crying like a spoiled pup, you'll be a laughingstock across the entire continent.
I sat motionless inside the carriage, listening to the sickening wave of their self-righteousness. The hollow ache in my chest crystallized into pure, freezing clarity. A laughingstock. You think way too highly of yourself, Riker. My survival doesn't depend on a coward who hides behind a stray. Riker's face instantly drained of color, his eyes flashing, a dangerous, unstable gold. He looked less like a proud leader and more like a rabid hound that had just been kicked in the ribs.
What did you just call me?
The alpha of the Blackridge pack had just been branded a coward by his supposedly defenseless, wolfless mate, shamed before his entire territory. It was a wound deeper than a silver blade to the heart, a brutal stripping of his alpha pride.
My Alpha, please don't be angry.
Alara wept, her voice a fragile whisper. She scrambled up from the freezing cobstones, throwing herself frantically against his chest. Her trembling fingers clutched his dark mantle, while her other arm pressed the wailing pup to her chest.
She's only lashing out in bitterness. It's all my fault. I'll leave right now, I swear it. I won't let you suffer her wrath on my account.
She wailed about leaving, yet her feet remained firmly rooted to the stone. Her tear-filled eyes locked onto his, her gaze a perfectly calculated display of submissive devotion. Alora's tears were the final match thrown onto the powder ket. Riker's restraint snapped completely. Stepping protectively in front of his crying mistress, he roared at my carriage.
Seraphina, do not test my patience!
Another suffocating wave of his dominant Alfa Thera slammed against the wood, trying to force me to submission.
You should be begging the moon goddess that I'm even willing to take you in! Your father is dead. You're just a wolfless runt with a hollow title. You have zero power here!
A collective gasp rippled through the gathered wolves, followed by a suffocating, dead silence. No one had expected him to strip away the diplomatic facade so brutally. Vanna made no move to stop him. Instead, a satisfied smirk twisted her wrinkled features. To this savage pack, I was nothing but helpless prey cornered in a trap, waiting to be tamed.
Riker is right. Know your place, little bird. The Lycan King's laws end where the Blackridge borders begin. You will grant her shelter today, or you will leave this territory with nothing but your shame.
The moment her words faded, hundreds of heavy-armored warriors stepped forward in perfect, terrifying unison. The sharp scrape of unsathed steel and the sicking pop of shifting claws filled the air. They boxed my carriage in, forming an impenetrable wall of muscle and dark iron. The scarred beta glared at my driver, his feral posture promising a torn throat if the man so much as twished the reins.
Step down from the carriage. Do not keep our guests waiting any longer.
The air grew thick, heavy with a suffocating hostile pressure as the Blackridge warriors hemmed us in, cutting off any hope of retreat. My driver trembled violently, his knuckles stark white against the leather reins, too terrified to even draw breath. These were the so-called fierce warriors of the north. This was the honorable mate my father had chosen to test. Glancing at the glimming blades through the carriage window, a cold, bitter amusement washed over me. Riker, do you honestly believe these Mongols are enough to break me? Riker frowned, clearly irritated that I wasn't crumbling into a weeping, compliant bride.
I'm doing this to protect you, Seraphina.
He sighed, the very epitome of a patronizing, exhausted Alfa.
Step out of the carriage. Alara is only here because I owe her a life debt, and my pup deserves the protection of these pack lands.
Alara instantly bowed her head, baring her throat in a practiced show of absolute submission.
Please, Luna, I will be your lowest servant.
She sobbed, perfect tears spilling down her pale pink cheek right on cue. To the wolves watching, her pathetic performance painted me as a jealous, heartless tyrant, standing in the way of their Alpha's bloodline. The restless murmurs of the pack grew louder, slipping past their bailed fangs.
She's completely heartless! Alara is begging on her knees! Our Alpha bleeds for this pack. He has every right to protect his own flesh and blood.
She's just a wolfless defect anyway. A spoiled runt looking down her nose at us.
The air grew thick with the pack's sour, aggressive pheromones. Vona's smile widened into a smug sneer. She knew that within these borders, a pack's blind loyalty was a sharper weapon than any silver blade. If I let them brand me a jealous, wolfless defect, my title would mean nothing within these borders.
Seraphina, I will ask you one last time.
Vona said, her milky cataton-clouded eyes narrowing as she delivered her final ultimatum.
Are you stepping out of that carriage or not?
I didn't give her the satisfaction of an answer. Instead, I shifted my gaze to the scarred beta, leading the wall of wolves. What is your name? The beta blinked, caught off guard by my composure, but emboldened by Ryer's presence, he squared his heavy shoulders, his voice booming across the courtyard.
I am Beta Kale of the Vanguard!
Good. I nodded, keeping my composure flawlessly. Tell me, Kale, do you know the penalty for threatening royalty? Kale bowed laughing, the sound echoing off the stone walls.
Luna, I only answer to my Alpha. While you were pampered in the capital, our Alpha was ripping out rogue throats in the mud.
Even if the late king stood where you are, I would still fight for my Alpha!
It was blatant, undeniable treason, yet Riker made no move to correct him. Instead, he puffed out his chest, radiating snug pride. This entire pack belonged to him, bound to his sole command, and he was using their blind pack-manel devotion as a noose to tighten around my throat. An Alpha's howl indeed, I murmured, tilting my head. Beneath the heavy folds of my velvet cloak, my fingers tighten around the ancient lichen crest hidden in my palm. You certainly know how to keep your dogs on a leash. Riker.
Naturally.
Riker sneered, drawing himself up to his full height.
Stop this stubborn game, Seraphina. Get out of the carriage now, and let's finish this ceremony with some dignity. Don't force my hand, or you'll regret.
He lunged forward and violently ripped the curtains open, grabbing for my arm to drag me out.
Step down!
He barked. His eyes burned with naked contempt, viewing me not as a fated mate, but as a fenceless, wolfless trophy he had already conquered. Behind his back, Alora's lips curled into a smug smile. Vanya tapped her iron staff against the coltones, waiting for the exact moment I would be dragged to my knees. I didn't even flinch. I simply watched his hand close the distance between us. But the exact millisecond his fingertip brushed my sleeve.
The other 7 brothers got out, followed by a small army of men in earpieces. The entire school went dead silent. 3 different girls in the quad started openly crying. 2 boys dropped their phones. The Vanderbilt brothers, the ones every gossip account in the city had been speculating about for years, were finally, all 8 of them, in one place.
For more than a dozen generations, the Vanderbilt family was a certified sausage fest. Not a single girl in the entire genealogy. Until me. The day I came home, my 8 older brothers immediately swarmed me. Sebastian, the oldest and a billionaire tech prodigy, slid a black Amex card right into my swaddle.
Keep it, princess. The pin is your birthday.
Damien, my second brother, the Mufia king, poked my cheek with a calloused finger.
She's so tiny. Are we sure she's not made of glass?
Julian, the doctor, scoffed, spraying Lysol into the air.
Get away from her, you heathens. You're tracking in germs.
That was how my 8 brothers put me on a diamond-encrusted pedestal, spoiling me like a princess. Then I started my junior year at Ridgemont Prep, and met the devil in high heel, my pre-calc teacher, Mona Sutherland. She practically worshipped the boys and made it her life's mission to loathe girls. When she decided to publicly humiliate me over my period, she picked the wrong girl to mess with. She has no idea that my 8 insanely powerful, billionaire brothers spoil me absolutely rotten. And they are about to descend on this school to unleash literal hell. Earlier that morning, during break, Miss Sutherland was perched on the edge of Tyler Brooks's desk, on it, one heel swinging, laughing too loud at something he'd said. Tyler is 16. She's 31. He's also the starting lacrosse attack and she shows up to every game in a Ridgemont varsity hoodie 3 sizes too small. Tyler held out a hot Cheeto. She opened her mouth and took it right off his fingers, then patted his thigh.
God, you boys are such an escape.
Tyler grinned. She reached across and stole a goldfish out of another boy's lunch.
The girls in this school file a HR complaint if you breathe wrong. Last week, one of them tried to lecture me about boundaries. Boundaries. I was like, sweetie, I was homecoming queen. I know what a boy is.
Tyler laughed.
Mrs. Sutherland, you're literally not like other girls.
I know. It's why my TikTok pops off.
I wasn't paying attention. I was at my desk, sipping my iced matcha and scrolling Pinterest. My friendship bracelet stack clicked quietly against the diamond cuff Sebastian had given me for my sweet 16. A shadow fell across my screen. Miss Sutherland had crossed the entire room to stand over me. The flirty laugh was gone.
Cute bracelet. Daddy bought that for you?
Her voice was acid.
Some of us actually had to earn our jewelry, Vanderbilt. You wouldn't know what that's like. You walk in here every day dressed like a Sephora ad, looking down your nose at the rest of us. Who exactly are you trying to impress?
The room went silent. The girls looked up, alarmed. The boys leaned in for the show. I set my matcha down, looked up at her, polite.
Mrs. Sutherland, I think you might be the one impressing somebody. You were sitting on Tyler's desk.
A beat of dead silence. Someone in the back row choked on a laugh and buried his face in his hoodie. Miss Sutherland's face went red to the hairline.
Excuse me? I'm just saying. There's a Title IX hotline poster literally behind your head. Vanderbilt, you are going to regret that.
The bell rang. Miss Sutherland marched to the front and slammed her textbook on the desk.
Sienna, stand up. Answer this one.
I stood. She flipped to a random page in the AP Calc book. Except this isn't AP Calc. This is regular pre-calc, and the problem she chose was an integral we wouldn't see until next year. I opened my mouth. She cut me off.
What, nothing to say? You had plenty to say 5 minutes ago.
She started pacing in front of my desk, but her eyes were on the rest of the class.
Some of you girls think you can coast through high school on Instagram filters and daddy's credit card. I'm telling you right now, out in the real world, nobody's going to baby you. You're in for a rude awakening, Vanderbilt. Men don't actually like girls who can't do anything for themselves.
She lectured for a solid 5 minutes. I just tilted my head, the real world, lifting a finger. But my brothers had been pretty clear that I was never going to see the real world. They had it covered. Miss Sutherland slammed her hand on the desk.
What is that look on your face? You think this is funny? Step out into the hallway. Now.
A girl 2 rows over whispered to her seatmate.
She is being so weird with Sienna right now. She's been weird with every girl in this class. Did you see what she put in my comments on Insta?
I didn't move. I just looked at Miss Sutherland.
Are you deaf? I said out!
Okay. I picked up my pink Goyer tote and walked out of the classroom. Past her. Past everyone. Then I just kept walking. down the marble stairs, out the front doors, past the security desk, straight to the curb on Park Avenue. She said get out. So I got out. I pulled out my phone and ordered an Uber Black home. I scanned my thumb against the biometric lock of our brownstone, the heavy oak door clicking open instantly.
I'm home.
Sebastian appeared from the kitchen in an apron over his dress shirt, sleeves rolled up his forearms, spatula in hand. He glanced at the antique clock in the hall.
It's barely 2. Since when does Ridsman Prep let out before 3:30?
I dropped my Goyard toad on the velvet couch and stretched out.
I just didn't want to be there anymore.
Sebastian set the spatula down, looking completely unconvinced.
Funny. My phone hasn't pinged with a single attendance notification from the parent wardle.
My teacher literally told me to leave, so I left.
I grabbed the Eruhan smoothie he'd left on the coffee table.
By the way, whatever you're burning in there smells expensive.
He didn't push it, but I clocked him glancing back at me twice through the kitchen archway. A few minutes later the front door opened again. Julian came in, loosened his tie, dropped his hospital ID on the entry table. He came straight to me and pressed the back of his hand to my forehead.
Early dismissness? You coming down with something, kiddo?
I'm good, Jules. Honestly, all I wanted today was to see my amazing brothers and get a giant hug.
He and Sebastian exchanged a look. I knew that look. That was the something happened at school, look natural until we destroy whoever did it, look. Indian wandered down the stairs next from his home office, tie crooked, sat on the arm of the couch.
Anything fun at school today, princess?
Nope, just school.
What'd you have for lunch?
A sweet green kale Caesar, the usual.
What was your last period?
PE, it completely drained me. I'm officially on strike and staying right here with you guys forever.
He ruffled my hair, half exasperated, half amused.
And let you drive us all crazy 24/7? No chance, princess.
Too bad you're stuck with me.
I mumbled and buried my face deeper into the couch. The suffocating weight from earlier didn't feel quite as heavy anymore. The family group chat, titled Sienna's Bodyguard's White Heart, was already lighting up, the other brothers arguing over the Hamptons house versus Aspen for the weekend. Sienna, text not moving from this couch. Would be a total vibe if the Aspen snow could just come to us instead. The chat went dead silent for one beat. Then 8 identical replies, almost simultaneously text, done. I honestly figured they were just joking around. But a little while later, right in the middle of me mindlessly scrolling through my TikTok FYP, white flakes suddenly started drifting past the floor-to-ceiling windows. I blinked, dropping my phone onto the couch. Turns out, my absolute lunatics of brothers had actually air-freighted real, fresh powder all the way from Aspen. I literally squealed with pure joy. Miss Sutherland had warned me I'd suffer in the real world. That word, suffer, wasn't really in my vocabulary. Second period the next afternoon was PE. Coach Daniels blew his whistle.
Mile run, ladies and gents. Mile run, let's move.
I walked over with the cramps note the school nurse had already signed off on. Coach reached for it, but a hand shot in from the side and snatched it first. Miss Sutherland. She was holding a clipboard, holding down the fort for her afternoon track duty. She flashed Coach Daniels a sickeningly sweet smile.
I've got this one, Coach. The school nurse asked me to double-check her medical clearance today anyway.
She crumbles the note in her hand, looking down at me with a sharp, toxic smile.
Looks like you're all mine now, Vanderbilt.
She glanced at the slip, tore it in half.
Cramps? Honey, Middog exists. Denied. Mrs. Sutherland, I really don't feel good. She gave me a slow head-to-toe once-over. You looked plenty fine flirting with Mason at lunch. Sienna, do you honestly think the entire world revolves around you? Cry me a river over a gym class. How exactly do you plan to survive the real world? Trust me, honey. Real men don't marry fragile little porcelain dolls.
The words landed in the dead air of the field. A couple boys in the front snickered. The girl next to me sucked in a breath.
Mrs. Sutherland, you literally cannot say that to a student. That is deranged.
I looked her dead in the eye.
I'm 16, Miss Sutherland. I have standard menstrual cramps. Why are you so obsessed with who is going to marry me?
Face froze over.
Don't talk back to me!
She grabbed my wrist. Hard. Yanked me toward the track.
Let go! Run.
She was totally breaking the policy, but I refused to give her the satisfaction of a scene in front of the entire junior class. So, I jerked my arm free and walked to the back of the line. She stood inside the track, arms tightly crossed as she hovered over the field, glaring right at me. I jogged. Slow. Every step pulled at my belly. I fell behind almost immediately.
Hip 2, Vanderbilt.
By the second lap I was bent over, hand pressed to my side, gasping. I said you were soft.
Keep going.
I looked up. My eyes burned. I refused to let the tears fall.
I can't, Mrs. Sutherland. I'm completely running on empty here. Save the damsel act for someone who cares. You're right. Let's bring in the people who actually do.
I pulled out my phone to call Sebastian. She had no idea she just signed her own death warrant. She saw the phone and swung at it. The iPhone flew out of my hand and skidded across the rubber track.
No phones during instruction. You know the policy.
I crouched and picked it up. The screen was spiderwebbed across the lock screen photo of me and Caleb at his college move-in.
You're paying for that. You dropped it. Not my problem.
That's when she noticed my wrist where the hoodie sleeve had written up. The bracelet. A delicate chain of pink stones with a tiny gold drop in the middle, engraved with my name in script. Sebastian had clasped it on me himself at my sweet 16 4 months ago. She grabbed my arm and lifted it like evidence.
A flawless phone, all this gorgeous costume jewelry. Running laps isn't a runway show, sweetie. You're dressed like a literal princess just for gem class. What, are we performing for the boys today, Vanderbilt? It's not costume. My brother gave it to me. Right. Brother. Probably scooped it out of a clearance bin at Claire's. Wearing this much jewelry in PE is a major safety hazard, sweetie. You wouldn't want to get hurt, would you? Hand it over. Confiscated. Your brother can come pick it up himself. I'm genuinely curious what kind of family raised a kid like you.
She tugged.
Don't! Let go!
She didn't. She pulled harder. I was clawing at her fingers, panicking.
Let go of me!
There was a small, terrible sound. A snap. Pink stones rained down on the rubber track. The little gold drop with my name on it bounced once and rolled straight into the storm drain grate at the edge of the field. I dropped to my knees, tried to gather the stones in shaking hands. My breath wouldn't come right. It hadn't been the running. It hadn't been the yelling. I hadn't cried for any of that. But Sebastian had fastened that bracelet on my wrist himself, and now it was on the ground in pieces. Miss Sutherland brushed her hands off like she'd touched something sticky.
Plastic falls apart. Welcome to reality. Stop the dramatics.
I closed my fingers around the broken chain, stood up slowly, looked at her. Then I turned and ran. Past the bleachers. Through the side door. Up the marble stairwell. 3 flights. 4. 5. Until I shoved through the alarm-rigged door to the roof. The alarm didn't go off. Of course it didn't. Half the wiring in this building was older than my grandfather. The whole school heard about it within minutes. The quad filled with kids in plaid skirts and navy blazers staring up, phones already out, recording.
Yo, is that Sienna Vanderbilt? What is she doing?
I stood near the parapet. Not stupid close, but close enough that nobody was breathing. The tears were coming hard now.
Hey, Mrs. Sutherland! Why do you only like the boy? Why does every girl in this school have to prove she isn't trying to seduce somebody just by existing? Is it a crime that I'm a girl? Fine. If you hate me just for existing, maybe I just shouldn't bother living at all.
The principal had appeared below with a bullhorn, sweating through his Brooks Brothers shirt.
Sienna! Sweetheart, come down. We can talk about this.
I kept going.
She wouldn't let me sit out PE when I have cramps. She told me no man was going to marry me. She ripped the bracelet off my wrist.
Down on the field, Miss Sutherland had her arms crossed. She actually smirked.
Knock it off, Vanderbilt. It was a piece of costume jewelry.
I was shaking so hard I could barely see. And then I heard it. A low, rising thunder above the rooftops. Every face in the quad tilted up. A black Sikorsky helicopter cut across the Manhattan skyline. The downdraft hit the field like a hurricane. Papers, baseball caps, clipboards, all of it scattering. The pilot brought it down dead center on the football field. The door opened. Sebastian stepped out in a charcoal Tom Ford suit, jaw set, walking like the building belonged to him. He covered the distance to the stairwell in seconds. At the same moment, 7 identical blacked-out Escalades peeled into the front circle in perfect formation. Doors opened in sync. My other 7 brothers got out, followed by a small army of men in earpieces. The entire school went dead silent. 3 different girls in the quad started openly crying. 2 boys dropped their phones. The Vanderbilt brothers, the ones every gossip account in the city had been speculating about for years, were finally, all 8 of them, in one place.
No way. That crest matches my necklace. Could she be the woman I'm looking for?
Who are you, boy? Did you kill these beastmen and save my daughter?
Master told me to keep my head down. Can't go flashing my identity just yet.
Oh, no, sir. I'm just a blacksmith. They were already dead when I got here.
Father, please, look at him. He's just a peasant blacksmith. There's no way in hell he could kill 3 beastmen. I think it was the Swordmaster.
The Swordmaster? Here?
Think about it. I just came down from the Swordmaster Mountain, and his sanctuary was completely empty. Look at those clean strikes. Whoever struck them moved faster than the eye could follow. No one but the Swordmaster could have done it. Damn it! I blacked out when it mattered most. If I'd found the Swordmaster and convinced him to stay, we wouldn't have to worry about the beastmen at our gates.
Grace is right. This kid doesn't even have a sword on him. No way he's some master swordsman. I'm clearly overthinking this. Listen, kid. You watched over my daughter, so I suppose you've done a Arundel a service. Name your price. Whatever it is, I can make it happen for you.
Just help me find my fiancé.
How do you have that exact same pendant?
You're Robert's son. You're Cain?
In the flesh. Before my father died, he gave me this pendant. He told me that once I came of age, I was to honor the arrangement and marry your daughter. So, I guess that makes you my father-in-law?
Watch your mouth, boy! I never said I'd let you marry my daughter.
Father, what's going on? I am the crown princess of Arendelle. How could I possibly be betrothed to some ragged blacksmith?
Look, Grace, years ago, Robert and I were close. We had too much to drink and said a few foolish things. I never imagined he'd take it seriously.
You hear that, boy? It was a joke. There was never a real betrothal. I am the crown princess of Arendelle, the first in line for the throne. And you? You're a low-born blacksmith. You want to marry me? Try it in the next life! Now take your piece of shit junk and get the hell out of my sight!
Look, kid, here's 100 gold coins. Enough to keep a man comfortable. Take it. Consider it a generous settlement.
I didn't come here for your money.
What? Not enough for you? You could hammer iron for 3 lifetimes and never see a fraction of this wealth. Don't push your luck, peasant.
You said the betrothal was nothing but a drunken joke. Then how do you explain this? Years ago, when you were begging my father to help you claim the crown, you were on your goddamn knees, pleading with him for this marriage alliance. Holy shit. It's real. The princess is actually engaged to a blacksmith? Unbelievable.
Man, Prince James is going to lose his mind. He's been chasing Princess Grace for years, and King Roderick was finally about to give his blessing.
Exactly. Prince James brought 5,000 soldiers to defend Arendelle and even took a general's commission just to stay at her side. And now some blacksmith shows up claiming to be her fiancé? That's ridiculous.
Hey, keep your voice down. Arendelle was built on sworn oaths. If the king breaks his own word, what is any oath worth?
I don't give a damn about some old piece of paper. Look around you, blacksmith. The beastmen are literally knocking on our gates. The man I marry will either be a legendary warrior like the Swordmaster, or a true hero like James, who commands legions to save my people. And what do you bring, huh? Coal and soot? Marrying you would not be an honor. It would bring ruin to Arendelle.
So that is your final answer? You are breaking your own oaths?
Of course not. We are not oath breakers. Tell you what, Cain, come back to the palace with us. Serve as a knight in training and spend some time with Grace. Give you two some time to build some chemistry.
Father, you can't be serious.
Silence, Grace. Let me handle this.
A filthy blacksmith thinks he can become a knight and marry the princess? Go find a mirror, boy. You aren't fit to shine her boots. King Roderick, the Royal Knights are the absolute elite warriors Arendelle has. Every single man earns his place through brutal trials. If some ragged blacksmith can just skip the line because his daddy pulled a few favors back then the Royal Knights might as well become a goddamn laughingstock.
James is right, Father. Your personal oath matters, but Arendelle's survival matters more.
Then it's settled, Cain. If you truly intend to marry my daughter, prove you're worthy. The Royal Knight trials are being held today. Win the tournament, and I'll see you and Grace marry. What do you say?
Listen to me, boy. The trials aren't your cozy little forge. Men fall in that arena. Take the gold and crawl back where you came from before you get yourself killed. Royal Knight trials? Sounds like a party. I've got nothing better to do today anyway. Let's go see how deadly this little arena of yours really is. Rules are simple. Every candidate enters the pit one by one to face the beast. Whoever kills it fastest wins the trial.
Impressive. That's our strongest candidate today. He might actually break the record you set at 20. What was it again, James?
1 minute. A whole minute? That's the record you're proud of? You don't know shit about real combat, peasant! Big guy's way too slow. He's gonna stretch this out for 5 minutes, and he's losing an arm before it's over.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Stop embarrassing yourself.
The peasant got a lucky guess. That's all.
Yeah, right. He's just a blacksmith. What would he know about fighting beasts?
Next up, Cain, the blacksmith.
Did he say blacksmith? Since when are blacksmiths allowed in the trials?
Look at those screeny arms. They are barely enough for an appetizer. The beast will tear him apart. Holy shit! He didn't even bring a sword! The poor bastard's already scared out of his mind!
Relax, everyone. It's just a stray pet. No need to wave a blade around. Bragging won't save you, you arrogant idiot. You think that's a damn puppy in there? Take a good look. It took 500 elite soldiers to pull that three-headed hound out of the deepest hell of the Darkwood. Now let's see you talk your way out of this one, blacksmith. You gonna hammer it out with your bare hands, or let it burn you to ash?
Hey, blacksmith! Enough with the bravado! This isn't worth risking yourself for! Get out of the pit right now!
Oh, come on, your highness. It's his choice. Give him a chance. If he wants to be your knight and your fiancé, he needs to survive the toughest trial. Otherwise, he's just a joke. Enough talking. Open the cage. I'm starving, and I'd like to get some dinner when this is over. Arrogant fool! Open the cage! Coward! Is dodging all you can do down there? Stand your ground like a man!
Those movements. His pacing is flawless. He's stepping exactly into the beast's blind spots before the strike even lands. Is he really just a blacksmith?
Run, you reckless fool!
Holy shit! How is that even possible?
He just killed a three-headed hound? With one finger?
Impossible! No damn way! He must have planted something on the beast and triggered it when he touched it!
So that's what happened. I knew a blacksmith couldn't be that powerful.
The night trials are about real and honest skill. We don't tolerate cheap tricks in this pit.
Cheap tricks? To kill that little thing? Man, you people really haven't seen much, have you?
Guards! Throw him out!
Damn it! War horns! The beastmen are attacking! You spineless old coward! Get down here and face me like a man! Hiding behind your pretty walls won't save you today!
Well, hello there, Grace. My favorite little human pet. Look at you, getting prettier by the day. Tell me, sweetheart, are you ready to become my bride?
You disgusting animal!
That's what I like about you. All that fire should make you fun in bed. Once I paint Arundel in blood, I'm gonna chain you to your father's throne. I'll make him watch while I turn you into my plaything.
You dare insult Princess Grace? You're a dead man!
You can't beat him, pretty boy. Don't jump down there just to die.
Shut your goddamn mouth, you coward! You're just piss-pants terrified because you know Fennis ranked number 15 in the swordsman rankings. Wait, what rankings? What the hell are you talking about? You might be shaking in your boots, but I'm not! Watch me! I'm gonna chop his goddamn head off and kick it across the battlefield!
Not bad for a royal boy. I guess I'll have to kill you first, before I take my sweet time with the princess.
Over my dead body!
Hey, quick question. What's this swordsman rankings thing James was going on about?
The swordsman rankings. The swordmaster created them to record the 50 greatest swordsmen in the realm. James might be young, He's already ranked 20th, the youngest man on the list.
All right, then who's number one? This Swordmaster guy?
Are you living under a rock? The Swordmaster created the list, but he is completely beyond it. He's practically a god. Even if the top 20 swordsmen all ganged up on him at once, they wouldn't stand a damn chance.
Jesus, Master. You really had nothing better to do than rank everyone? Oh, man.
Yes! James hasn't lost his edge. He's actually going to put that wolf down!
Pretty swordplay for sure. Too bad it's full of openings. Within 3 moves, James loses.
Shut up! You're a blacksmith. What would you know? James is clearly winning.
Oh, shit. Who was that? Who sniped my blade? Show yourself!
Did he just deflect Fenris's blade with a pebble? Fenris is ranked number 15. That brute's born with monstrous strength.
How is that possible? Oh, I get it. He's a blacksmith. He spends his life forging weapons, so he must know the weaknesses of different swords. He got lucky.
Can't win a real fight, so you throw cheap shots? Typical humans. But guess what? It didn't change a damn thing. Your champion ran back behind his walls like a whipped dog. Hey, old man, send someone who can actually fight. If anyone here beats me today, I'll pull back my troops. Otherwise, when these walls crumble, we slaughter every single man, woman, and child inside. No survivors!
Then, I suppose I'll have to handle this bastard myself.
Father, no! You can't!
Easy, my girl. I may have some grey in my beard, but I was a battlefield swordsman long before I wore a crown. And I still hold the 16th spot on the swordsman rankings.
Father is ranked 16, and Fenris is 15. They're only 1 spot apart. He can win this. He has a chance.
Not even close.
That all you've got, old man? Did you forget to eat breakfast or something?
The wolf is wide open down low, but the king keeps getting distracted by his upper body attacks. That's why he's losing.
You know nothing. The blade's coming at his face. What's he supposed to do? Let it take his head?
Cain is right. Fenris's right leg is the opening. Father! Go for his right leg!
Brother, you're here! My brother is ranked 12 in the entire realm. He was personally guided by the legendary Swordmaster himself. His swordsmanship is Godspeed. You are all fucking dead!
Wait, what? Guided by the Swordmaster? Since when did I train that oversized cat?
Useless garbage! Losing to a human whose rank is lower than yours, you've disgraced the entire Beastkin bloodline. Roderick, surrender Arundel and crawl away alive, or I'll take it over your corpse. Choose.
But as long as I still breathe, you will never take Arundel from me.
For Arundel! Stubborn fool. If you're so eager to die, I'll grant your wish.
Away from him!
Pretty little thing, aren't you?
Get your filthy hands off me.
Oh, I don't think I will. I'm taking you back with me. The entire world will watch the Crown Princess of Arundel become our plaything.
In your fucking dreams!
So I've got a spine just like your father. Good. Let's see how long it takes to break it.
Grace! It's all over. Arundel falls today.